I tried to refrain from diving too deep into it on my own so we could learn together on stream. But this is for the AI deepfakes he was making. This is the mandatory prison sentence, which I recall people were saying would likely be the case because of how seriously they take it. The controversial American live streamer notorious for his brazen antics and public disruptions is guaranteed to face prison time in South Korea. A fifth and most severe charge violating the country's Special Act on Sexual Violence Crimes has obliterated any remaining hope for leniency. The days of online infamy are over. For Somali, the virtual stage that once gave him global attention has been replaced by the harsh reality of legal consequences. They make it sound like he was actually popular. He never has been. The only people who know about him are people like me who follow lolcows. Almost nobody, as like a stream watcher, a viewer, will have ever heard of his name. He never even got global attention. The attention he got was the locals of the countries he would visit beating his ass because he would constantly be disrespecting them and making a huge scene every time he went out. Oh, I don't think he's going to be having a fun time in prison, for sure. Thanks for your sub, Bread and Stray. This is kind of just going over a lot of what we've already gone over. Here we go. This goes more into the deepfakes. Prosecutors revealed that Somali is now facing charges violating the South Korea Special Act on Sexual Violence Crimes. The charges stem from an AI-generated deepfake video that depicted popular Korean streamer Bong Bong in fabricated intimate scenes with Somali. That's something we talked about as well, and a lot of people mentioned that they take that shit very, very seriously, and that seems to be the case. Under South Korean law, the creation, distribution, or possession of non-consensual AI-generated explicit content is classified as sexual crime. Woof! Legal experts have confirmed that this offense carries a mandatory prison sentence up to 7 years. Unlike the previous charges, which allowed for financial penalties, this particular crime eliminates the possibility of a mere fine. This is not simply an issue of digital mischief, explained a legal analyst, Legal Mindset. This is a serious sexual offense, and South Korea's court will treat it as such. When deepfakes are weaponized to humiliate or defame, the legal system responds with severe consequences. What a fucking W. Oh, what a W. And again, another thing to make big mention of, this is one charge. Keep in mind, he has also pled guilty to other charges carrying a minimum of 5 to 10 years. But this one is a guaranteed prison sentence up to 7 years. I guess we don't know exactly how long it'll be. And he still has more charges to come. He just got new charges when he got arrested on stream the other day. So he is still collecting these puppies like the Infinity Stones. When it's all said and done, this guy actually could end up with like 30, 35 years in the slammer. All for like a crumb. A tiny tiddlywink of internet attention. It's unbelievable. It's a bold statement, but I'm going to make it. I think he is probably the most degenerate lolcow. At least in terms of like the consequences he's facing for being the lolcow. You know what I mean? Chris Chan is inarguably the GOAT of lolcows. No one will ever beat that. But not even Chris Chan received punishment to this level that Johnny Somali is. He's also going to get tried as a repeat offender with all the recent stuff too. I keep seeing that, but I don't know if that's confirmed. It sounds reasonable, like that sounds right. Yeah, Daniel Larson is the only other one that might come close, because he is currently in jail as well. His was bomb threats, so yeah, it's a tough competition between Larson and Johnny. South Korea has cemented its reputation as a global leader in combating digital sex crimes. The country's strict laws were forfeited following a series of high-profile cases involving sexually explicit deepfakes and online harassment. In 2024, lawmakers passed legislation criminalizing the possession and viewing of non-consensual deepfake content. The penalties are unyielding. Offenders face up to 3 years in prison or fines reaching 30 million won, or 22.6k. Distributing or profiting from such content carries even harsher consequences, with sentences up to 7 years behind bars, which is what Johnny Somali's facing. South Korean society, still healing from past cases of cyber exploitation, has shown little patience for perpetrators like Somali. That is an understatement. They beat his ass every single time he goes live. They literally had a UAV online where they'd track him, follow him, and beat him. And I think they were totally in the right to just keep beating his ass for all the shit he kept doing and saying. He is just a full-blown criminal. Oh yeah, they were fucking spawn camping him in one of his streams. I already showed the clip multiple times, but in one of his streams, he literally leaves his hotel, and while like right after he gets out of his hotel, he just gets his ass beat. This second, it's like GTA RP when you leave the hospital, but your ops are still waiting. It was so good. And this is just going over what we already talked about when he went to court. He went to court beyond hungover and just being extremely disrespectful. He was over an hour late. Yeah, we already went over all that. Also, we're coming up on his next appearance in court. It's next week, I believe. I'm almost positive it's sometime next week. I think it's the mid next week. What'd this guy even do? You're probably not familiar with his face because usually it's face down in some concrete after getting his ass beat. But he's an IRL streamer whose entire content was just breaking laws on stream for like donations and just being racist to everyone in every country he'd visit, trying to provoke them into a confrontation, and then he'd get his ass beat and cry about it. He did this in many places. Most notably before Korea was Japan. And that's just been his whole content. His viewers goad him into breaking more laws for their own entertainment, their own amusement, watching him throw away his life. And he does it with a big smile on his face, drinking himself into a coma every night on stream. It's fascinating.